What up, Panther Nation? Ropp Star Gang here. Ropp Star Report. Welcome to the Ropp Star Report. I have no idea what I'm saying right now. Good Lord. Welcome, man. Appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Do me a favor. Make sure you smash that like button. You see the title today is Jalon Walker, the safe pick for the Panthers, and pre-draft visits with Schwesinger and, of course, Kyle Kennard and Jordan Burch, man. We'll dive in each and one of those guys today. Again, as you guys come in, make sure you pound that like button, hit that subscribe button, and make sure you click that post notifications bell so you don't miss out on any new content. Love to hear your thoughts as we go throughout the show today and through the comments. Yeah, appreciate everyone as we go throughout today's show. Of course, become a member today, as always. Appreciate that. It always goes a long way. What's up, Rawwalk? Appreciate you joining, man. Welcome in. What's up, Zach? Appreciate you. Chance Fapper, what is up? Appreciate you guys. We got over 45 people watching. We have over 34 on X. We're moving up on YouTube right now. Starting off slow. It's a slow stream tonight, but that's all good. It's all good. Sometimes slow streams are the best. Just so because then I can get through everything and to some of your guys' comments as well. Yeah, so is Jalon Walker the safe pick, ladies and gentlemen? Right? Like, I don't know. I think the smartest, for me personally, I still think trade down. I think that needs to be the move that Carolina needs to move back. I feel like that's the smartest thing for them to do. Right? That's just me. But if we're talking about them, like, I mean, if we're talking about a guy, we're talking about, Jalon Walker, like, is he the absolute guy? Like, is he the safe pick at number 8? Or is he the safe pick? I mean, hell, there's been rumors all around, that maybe feel that the New England Patriots are interested in him at number 8. At number 4, sorry, not at number 8, number 4. There's rumors swirling around that. So, why Jalon Walker is one of the smartest, most necessary picks the Panthers can make in the 2025 NFL draft. That's what we're going to cut into first things first. So, I actually want to pull up some of his game film while we discuss this because I know you guys love the game film stuff. So, I'm going to pull up his game film for you guys. Like, here's the thing. Jalon Walker, the Carolina Panthers, does make me almost feel uncomfortable. And what I mean by that, because of the amount of sense that it makes for Carolina to go after him. Because, in fact, if this pick, we all know, doesn't happen on draft night, it's probably because someone else got to him first. Or the Panthers talked themselves into a different direction, right? Or maybe they got a bet offer they couldn't refuse, right? Like, here's the thing. When we're talking about Jalon Walker, we're not just talking about a local product out of Salisbury, North Carolina, but that we're talking about a guy who played for one of the most dominant college football programs of the last decade. We're talking about an upside. We're talking about scheme versatility. We're talking about a tone setting defender who, despite all the lazy tweener talk, might be the one guy who can drag his soft ass, drag this soft ass, not his soft ass. That he might be the only player that can drag this soft ass defense maybe into the 21st century. I was all about Jahad Campbell. I still am. I think him and Jahad are very similar. Um, some people think Jahad's a better Mike linebacker, not as versatile as Jalon Walker. I see both sides of it, but it seems like Carolina really loves Jalon Walker a lot more than Jahad Campbell. Um, I think the Panthers. Here's the thing: we talked about it last night. You can't screw this 8th pick up because you're going to have solid talent anywhere at that point, right? You're going to have all that. Defensively, I know we're starving for help, right? And here's the kicker, ladies and gentlemen, like with this draft class. It's weird. Like there's a steep drop off after the very top. You've got a handful of legitimate blue chip guys like Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter, Mason Graham. After that, it's a buffet of solid players who I still think are guys who can walk in day one as a superstar. That doesn't mean we're screwed if we don't get Jalon Walker. Doesn't mean we're screwed if none of the guys we want are there at 8. In fact, we're in a pretty decent position. Like, even none of these guys are surefire Hall of Famers. But it's just like we talked about last night. The number 8 pick should give them a high upside player who can make an immediate impact, right? That's what matters. We've talked about names. We talked about Michael Williams. We talked about Malachi Starks. We've talked about Nick Amanawari. We talked about Will Johnson. We talked about Jahad Campbell, Shamar Stewart, T-Mac, Tyler Warren, Matthew Golden. Like I told y'all this last night when we have to address the critics. The ones that are basically what I mean by critics are those are the people that are clutching their pearls at the idea of drafting any of these guys. Any of these guys that we've talked about multiple times on the show at number 8. That's a reach. And that's what they'll say. And you know what? Screw that. This draft is this draft is a minefield of maybes and potentials. There is no such thing as a reach this year unless you're drafting a punter. We just need guys who can actually play. We don't need projects. We don't not need combine heroes. I said this last night. We need hard-nosed football players who can walk in the building and make a team better right now. Like I said, it's so uncomfortable of how much it does make sense to get Jalon Walker. You know what I mean? Well, Chance the Vapor, we'll talk. We might dive into that a little bit more because the Cincinnati Bengals too could be a team that Carolina looks to trade with. Cincinnati could be a team that Carolina looks to trade with. They might send us a nice package deal as well. So don't be surprised by that. Pittsburgh, interesting. I saw that trade composition, but we'll dive more into that a little bit here. But like, here's the thing, man. Like the Panthers have a talent problem. They have and an identity crisis. I would say I think they're figuring it out on offense, but last year's defense is definitely an identity crisis. Again, we're not a team that's just few pieces away, man. Like this is a team that's knee deep in a full scale rebuild, man. And whether ownership admits it or not, like in 2024, I mean, our defense wasn't just bad. It was It was historically atrocious. Like they allowed the most points in a single season in NFL history. And we finished dead last in pressure rate, 16.2%. I mean, we gave up a laughable 179.8 rushing yards per game. I mean, our defense was a lifeless shell of itself. Like, sure, injuries played a role. All right, you lose Pro Bowl Derek Brown. You miss some time with him. Your veteran vocal leader, linebacker Shaq Thompson was silent for most of the year. And the rest of the unit was a patchwork of guys who probably shouldn't have even been starters. Like both injuries don't explain the whole picture. Even with semi-healthy, the Panthers look like they were running drills in molasses. They weren't just bad, they were gutless, there was no voice, there was no fire, there was no direction. You wanna talk about bad optics? Watch a linebacker group like, watching a linebacker group can't fill a gap or get home on a blitz, while a third string running back drops 120 yards on us. That was when I saw that, or when I watched that game, if y'all know which third string running back I'm talking about, who put 120 yards on us. That was a reality check for me last year when I watched that game. I'm like, how is a third string running back putting up 150 yards against us? You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, so that's why it's like it brings up my question. Like, is he the safest? Is Jalon Walker a safe pick this year for Carolina? Like Walker isn't. Here's the thing. I don't think he isn't a traditional. He isn't a traditional plug and play linebacker. He's not going to be the safest. He's not going to be the cleanest project on the board. But if you think that should scare the Panthers off, you haven't been paying attention to what this team really needs. Here's the thing you got to think about. Walker spent his college years under Kirby Smart, who is one of the most demanding competitive environments of football, right? If you watch college football, you know what I'm talking about. Georgia doesn't just produce NFL players. They are now the alphas of the SEC. I mean, they're probably producing more talent in the NFL now. Like they're like the new Bama when Saban was there, right? Like among them, Walker is a leader. He's that vocal guy. He's a guy who sets the tone on the field and in the locker room and the weight room. He was the guy who held his teammates accountable when the cameras weren't rolling. You can go even watch an interview with Kirby Smart. We've seen, if you haven't seen that interview, you should go check it out. So he's talking about Jalon Walker, about the Buckus Award and all that. Like even he's got teammates who went on record in 24, called him the motivator, the guy who made others want to work harder, just being in the room. That's not coach speak. It's not lip service. That's real. And if you watch, if you've watched the Panthers last year, at all, how rare that kind of pressure is, especially on that defense that's been running around like a chicken with his head cut off. Okay, but let's talk about this tweener label. That I hate. I hate the tweener label because that's the elephant in the room about Jalon Walker, ladies and gentlemen. And guys, if you love the content here at the Ropp Star Report, I would greatly appreciate if you like and subscribe. Make sure you click that post notifications bell. It only takes about 3 clicks to do both. I would greatly appreciate that. It does go a long way. We're live basically Monday through Friday, every single day, even sometimes on the weekends, especially if I'm not sick. So, but I will not be live Friday this week. I will not be live this weekend. I am going out of town, but I'll be back on Monday. All right. So you guys will see me the next couple days. Okay. But let's talk about this tweener label. I hate because this is the elephant in the room about this whole tweener label that they like to get them. Okay. Yes, is Jalon Walker being labeled as a tweener? I hate that it's a dreaded draft nickname slapped on players who don't have a clean positional fit. But here's what people aren't telling you. The entire concept behind the tweener label, okay? Tweener, okay, is stuck in 2005. What I mean by that is Walker split time as an inside linebacker and an edge in 2024. And he racked up over 311 in the box. And then he had over 249 off the line. Guess what? That's not a bad thing. It's called modern football, ladies and gentlemen. That's what it's called. Defenses today are built on multiplicity, versatility, deception. You need guys who can wear multiple hats and make it look easy, right? No offense, but Brian Burns, ladies and gentlemen, in my opinion, is a one-trick pony. He's not versatile. He's a guy who needs to put his hands in the dirt, and that's it. Yeah, he might have a toolbox of moves, but he's not going to line up as a Mike linebacker. Brian Burns, in my opinion, would not get, if we were to do Brian Burns comp right now, he's not a tweener. He's a one-trick pony. He's an edge rusher. That's what he is. That's it. He doesn't do, he can't do what Jalon Walker does. That's not how he plays ball. Jahad Campbell, I think, is also a tweener, more than what people think. He could also be a better tweener, so to speak, than what Jalon Walker is. But everybody's high on Jalon Walker, and I understand it. Georgia players are high right now. When you look at the Philadelphia Eagles, it's hard to not want to look at every Georgia player coming out of there. Every player out of Georgia. Because of what you saw out of the Philadelphia Eagles. Michael Williams, Malachi Starks, Jalon Walker. All of those guys can end up just being absolute studs in the NFL. But back to this whole tweener label thing. We're talking about a guy who led led Georgia. An NFL, again, what it is an NFL factory. They just produce that shit, man. They keep producing it, and they can keep producing it, and they are top of the market, man. They are a Fortune 500 company now, and they just continue to produce. That's what they are. They got a great product there, man. Everybody wants them. Everybody wants to be them. Everybody wants to, go there. You know what I mean? That's what they are. They're an NFL factory. You know what I mean? But 6.5 sacks, 23 pressures, two fumble recoveries through his year. Was named first team All-American, won the Buckus Award, given the nation's top linebacker. I mean, the production's there. The effort is relentless. And we're watching the tape. I mean, the dude, we've watched this tape multiple times. I mean, the dude plays like his ass is on fire. We're talking about a guy who's 6'1", 243 pounds. He's really not the ideal size for a traditional edge. I'll say that. But Do you know who else was too small for the edge position, ladies and gentlemen? When I mentioned this guy, y'all know him all too well from what, the 2022 season or 2023? I think it was 2023, right? 2022, 2023, whatever it is, or 2023. It wasn't 2023, 2024 season, I don't think. But who I'm going with. It's Hassan Reddick. Now that comparison isn't lazy. It's instructive if you think about it. Like Reddick bounced around until he found the right scheme, and now he's then he became a double digit sack machine. So I mean, here's the thing: if the Panthers can actually develop Walker, something Dave Canales, Dan Morgan have claimed they value, he could absolutely thrive in a similar role. But let's talk about a worst case scenario. Let's talk about a worst case scenario. Okay. Let's talk about a worst case scenario. Let's assume Walker doesn't become Reddick 2.0. What's the fallback? What's the fallback? A fiery, athletic, high IQ hybrid linebacker who becomes a culture leader, chips in 5 sacks a year, leads your defense in effort and attitude. Great. Do you know who that sounds like? Sounds like you found your another Frankie Louvu all over again. Who was a heartbeat of our defense, not last year, but the year before that. So now, last we've checked, Luvu's production was never the issue, right? The last we checked, Luvu's production wasn't the issue. So Hassan Reddick or Frankie Luvu, are those really bad comps for Jalon Walker? No. Trap, when I went on that rant, I just said, let's stop comparing, not necessarily comparing, but let's just stop wishful thinking on guys for like another new Luke Kuechly, or stop wishful thinking for another Steve Smith. Like, I'm just tired of hearing Panthers fans, well, we need another Luke Kuechly. We need another Greg Olsen. We need another Cam Newton. We need another this, that, and the other. That's what I was getting at. I'm tired of comparing guys to past Panthers players. Like, we need another one of them. Well, of course we need another one of them, but like, is that really their comp? No, that's not their comp. Jalon Walker is not going to be a Luke Kuechly. Jadavion Sanders, could he be the next Greg Olsen? Or could his comp is not Greg Olsen, but could he be like the Greg Olsen and hopefully bring that type of production? Yeah, but that's what I would hope for. But not out of a guy who's a 4th round pick. I don't expect him to have Greg Olsen production the first 2 years. Now going into year 3, I need to see some more, yeah. But back to Jalon Walker. And I see some of you guys' comments, and I'll get to some of you guys' comments, I promise, tonight. Again, I don't think Walker's going to be just some instant Pro Bowler. He's going to bring toughness. He's going to bring accountability. He's got the raw physicality to a team. He brings a lot of raw physicality to a team that desperately needs all three. He's got the twitch rush to rush the passer, the mobility to drop into coverage. He's got the football character to make coaches trust him with play calling duties by year 2. Right? Here's where things get weird. Because if we go look at how the big board feels, like the big boards, like the big draft boards, if you know what I'm talking about, Walker's stock is all over the place. Right? Daniel Jeremiah has him high as number 5 on PFF. Right? Or I don't think he's part of PFF. Daniel Jeremiah is his own thing. What am I talking about? I saw it the other day. Daniel Jeremiah has him at number 5. PFF has him buried at number 29. And ESPN's Mel Kiper has him at number 13. And then the Ringers, Danny Kelly puts him at number 8. So what does that tell you? It tells you that the league has no fucking clue what to do with him, to be honest. And that's a good thing. Like, if you're smart enough to understand his value, okay, then the Panthers should be a team, and they should be the ones to say, hey, let everyone else overthink it, okay? We'll take the guy who brings violence, who brings leadership, who brings flexibility to our lifeless defense, right? Like, so is Jalon Walker the perfect prospect, ladies and gentlemen? No. But damn it, would he be a smart pick for this team? Yes. Do they need someone who can help build, not just produce? Yes. They need someone who can dictate the tone on a defense that was allergic to hitting, that was allergic to winning, that was allergic to give a damn in 2024, especially on defense. Walker is not just a good fit. I think he's a necessary one for to be honest. Now, here's the thing. I do I'm not opposed to trading back, especially after some of the trade rumors that I've heard that maybe Carolina can make, especially with like Pittsburgh. And then Cincinnati was another one I saw. I've also seen another one with the Indianapolis Colts, the Dallas Cowboys, the Miami Dolphins. But the most intriguing one has been the Pittsburgh Steelers. But here's the thing. If the Panthers walk away from the NFL 2025 draft, all I have to say is this. You better have an ace up your sleeve if you don't know where you're going with number 8. Because this rebuild doesn't need another technician. It needs a fucking dog. It needs a dog. Trap, you didn't address enough in free agency, man. You're out of your mind if you think that we oh man, I don't get how it makes no sense to go offense. I don't understand this idea that you got Patrick Jones, who was a rotational player. You got Tershawn Wharton, who was a rotational player. The only guy that wasn't that we signed was Trayvon. Trayvon was the only guy that was a true starter on his team. I get it. That doesn't mean that Carolina still can't make some moves to go into offense, but it ain't going to be Tyler Warren. And honestly, them re-signing Tommy Tremble also kind of tells me that they aren't going to go get Tyler Warren. So you can go ahead. That's a curveball move, but I think that it's Jalon Walker A. I think it's T-Mac B. If they're going to go offense at 8, it's T-Mac. But that's it. They ain't going Tyler Warren. It's Jalon Walker A now. It's T-Mac B. I think it's Mason Graham C. And then D. I have no idea. I have 3 guys in my mind now that they would truly go with at 8. And it's those 3. Now, none of them are there. We'll see. I think that again, I still think that the smartest move for Carolina, if they don't end up going with Jalon Walker and he is there at 8, then the smartest move for them is to trade back because of the value you can get with some of these trades I've been seeing. Who's the better fit? It's an interesting thing. Like Bobby Brown the third, it's interesting to see because all these guys were rotational guys. Bobby Brown the third did learn from Aaron Donald. Bobby Brown the third also can be a true nose tackle. He'll be a starter. So do we really need Mason Graham? I don't think it would hurt. Always adding, again, I'm all about the trenches, man. So adding Mason Graham wouldn't hurt. Now Jalon Walker, just what he brings to the table and all that versatility, I just think he's the better fit, to be honest with you, Zach. So I would take Jalon Walker over Mason Graham. Me personally, I would take Jalon Walker over Mason Graham. I think he's the better fit. I think the versatility. And that's something that we don't have on defense. What compensation will we get from Pittsburgh? I'll show you real quick. Let's go over to I mean, you can tell me stats all you want, Trap. It's not going to change the fact that that signing just proves to me that they're not getting Tyler Warren. You can go ahead and get it out your head that they're not getting Tyler Warren. What makes you think that Walker's the safe pick? Well, damn, I just explained that whole fucking thing. So this is what based off this question here from Pittsburgh. This is the compensation you'd be looking at from Pittsburgh. Apparently, if Pittsburgh's really interested in Shador, Zach Taylor said, "I typed before you explained it. It's all good. I typed before you explained. I explained the whole thing. Oh, you heard what I said. I explained the whole thing. But here's the compensation. So as of Edgar Samingo Jr., he is called the Panthers analyst on Twitter. Actually, he does great stuff on Twitter. To be honest with you. He knows his shit. So he goes using the trade chart, it would look like this. So Carolina will get their 21st, their third, which is 83, fifth, 156. There's 6 at 185, and then a future first and a third. Pittsburgh gets their basically our first and a future 7th. I mean, dude. Broski, I get it. I just don't see. All I'm saying is I don't see Tyler Warren getting picked by the Panthers. I just don't. I think. Listen, is it out of the realm? I'll give it a 3% chance that Carolina picks Tyler Warren. I'll give it a 3% chance. That's how much percent chance I would give it. Again, now I think that the Jaguars is a team to watch in this draft. We need to see where the Jaguars go in this draft. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting because here's the thing. Jaguars are always one of those teams that reach for a player. Now, it's not necessarily say that they reach, like not all the time, but I feel like they've reached the past couple times. I mean, was Trayvon Walker a reach? Not necessarily. He had a breakout year this year. I mean, he had 10 and a half sacks this season, past season. So, but I mean, Trayvon Walker was projected a mid first round pick, and they took him first overall. And the Jags do that time and time again, though. They always take somebody that's ends up being like a mid first round pick, but then they go watch their comp, and then they're just like, that's our guy. As long as we aren't trading for George Pickens, I feel you. We don't use the tight end like that anyway. Rumor has the Jags are big on Genty. Interesting. The Jags with Genty. So they must not be big believers in Trey ETN. That would be interesting. Genty, ETN. So they have a double-headed monster backfield. They still got what, Brian Thomas? But who else do they have besides Brian Thomas Jr. to throw to there at the Jags? That's the question. I can see the Jags going T-Mac. That's the thing. I can see Jags going T-Mac. They need somebody else to throw to. I mean, who else do they have besides Brian Thomas? Kirk, Christian Kirk's gone. Is Gabe Davis still there? I mean, but is Gabe Davis really a true number 2 wide receiver? I mean, I guess. But they honestly need a slot guy. They could end up going. What would be crazy is that they might be a team that ends up trading back and then going after like a guy like a Mecca Ibuka or like Matthew Golden to help out. To help out Trevor. But what do they need? What do they need? All I've been seeing is defend. All I've been seeing is defend player. Bryce struggles pushing the ball down the field. So tight end. Broski, I think he struggles pushing the ball down the field over the middle. The reason why I say that is I think he's scared to throw over the middle. I really do. I think he's scared to throw over the middle. Because time and time again, he's gotten picked off over the middle. Now, in the last 12 weeks of the season, we saw him throw over the middle more with more confidence last year. But again, do I think a guy like do I think like a guy like who am I trying to think of right now? The player. Good Lord, the tight end. Now, who am I thinking of the tight end? My gosh, Tyler Warren. I think Tyler Warren would be a great fit for our offense. Don't get me wrong, because he would open up the middle of the field for Bryce. But I think I think it would be a curveball move by Carolina. I still would say it's a 3% chance that they try to draft him. If the Jags take Walker, then who says the Jets aren't going to take Mason Graham? I can see. Here's the thing. The Jets are also very interesting because, I mean, they have multiple needs, man. Like the Jets need their top needs is offensive tackle, quarterback, and wide receiver, mainly, at least from my understanding. But if we're talking about the Jets, I mean their top need is offensive tackle. They're not going to take Mason Graham. They're probably going to take one of the top tackles in this. Probably the LSU guy. What, Campbell? No, it's not Campbell. What's his name? Why am I having a mind blank tonight? Having a mind blank of who I'm trying to think of. The offensive tackle out of LSU. Why am I having such a mind blank right now? Yeah, Will Campbell. Duh. I said that. So yeah, it is Will Campbell. That's where I could see the Jets going. The latest mock draft I've seen, I believe, from Mel Kiper Jr. was Carolina picking Jalon Walker at 8, Isaiah Bond, which I wouldn't be mad at. I don't want Bond at 57. If anything, if you want to go after somebody, give me Jalen Noel at 57. Or I would even take Jalen Royal at 57. But don't give me Isaiah Bond. I'm not a fan. Not a fan. Hit that like button. Thanks, Earl. I appreciate that. I heard T Mac to the Jags too because he would be there. Mike Evans, remember their coach just left Tampa, had Evans. True. It's an interesting move. That makes sense. I'm trying to get their Maurice Jones-Drew all over again. I saw Mel Kiper, the Jags pick Emeka in the second. I don't know if Ibuka's going to fall to the second. I don't know. He may. He may. Yeah, I mean Brian. You're right, Broski. He is tall. I think what is he? 6'3". Is Brian Thomas 6'3", 6'2"? The Jets are either taking right tackle or Tyler Warren. Yeah, Jets want Brock Bowers, so they will get Tyler Warren. Plus, I live here in New York City, so I hear the noise. They want right tackle, left or tight end. Gotcha. I think the Jets take Amon Mebu. They pair. Oh, interesting. Not that good. Harold Fanning. Tyler Warren's a 1-year player. He's not that good. I can't. Earl, I can't agree with that. I can't agree with that. I can't agree with that, my friend. He's definitely not. He had 2 years, and then he just blew up his second year. Put up what? I think he had 400 his first year. What did he have yards wise? Let's go look. Let's go look. He had. Let's go look at the big board here. I would say he's a 2-year player because I think his second year he had over like 800 yards, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so he had 123, 422, but I mean, but then after that you have a 1,200-yard year. I don't know, man. It's hard for me to say. Just because he had one good year doesn't mean that he's not going to translate into the NFL and become one of the top, you know, tight ends, and it could end up being one of the top tight ends in the league. I mean, if we go look at Brock Bowers, I don't think Brock Bowers had magical numbers every year either at Georgia. But I don't know if he's going to give me his grading at Georgia. Let's see if PFF will give me his grading. Let's see. What was Brock Bowers, PF? Brock Bowers, Georgia, PFF grading. Grade. See if I can find that. NFL draft profile. Maybe. There we go. Okay, so he had 800. So he had 882 yards his first year. Okay, 15 games, 942. Okay, 717. Consistent. I mean, still though, I mean, for a guy to come out and have 1,200 yards, but also can run the wildcat, can snap the football, can run up the seam, make plays. Yeah, had 200 yards rushing. I mean, I don't know. I think you can make the case. I think you can make the case on that. That Warren's not just a 1 year. I mean, maybe he also was behind a bunch of other guys. Brenton Strange, yep, and Theo Johnson. That's correct, Zach Taylor. So again, I don't like that. I don't like the comparison though for Tyler Warren as like Taysom Hill. It doesn't make me want to go after him anymore, or it doesn't make me want to go after him after hearing that. I see George Kittle in the passing game and in the blocking game, but I do see this skill. I see more of a Kyle Juszczyk skill set with him. Now I know he was a high school quarterback before he transitioned. That makes sense now. That makes sense. But this is your compensation now, guys. All right, so let's get back to this real quick because I do want to get back to this. So the Pittsburgh Steelers wanted to trade us, right? Right, trade with us because obviously they're trying to go up and get Shador Sanders. It would take a lot for us to trade for this trade to happen. Would you take this trade? So again, Carolina gets their first, the 21st. We get their third as well, the 83. We get their fifth at 156, and we get their sixth at 185. That's this year. We get a future first and a third. Pittsburgh Steelers get first and a future seventh. So all they're getting is a future seventh, and they get our eighth overall pick. Are you hammering this trade? Because I know I am. I'm hammering the fuck out of this trade. You get I know we only have one first round pick, but then you end up having two third round picks. Think that means we end up with like 3 fifth round picks. We get a 6th round pick, and then we still get a future first and a third, which means that future first, let's say it's next year. That means you have 2 first round picks next year. And you have 2 third round picks next year. That's what I was saying, broski. I didn't like the comparison to Taysom Hill. I didn't like it. I'm hammering this trade all day. Let's see if we can pull up this trade in a mock simulator real quick. Always put a little bit on there. Let's see if we can make this trade even come to life. All right, so 21. So what is it? So they give me 21, 83, 156, 185 this year. Would it be a future first and then like a future third, something like that for 8 and a future 7th? Yeah, but his measurables don't match up, is what I'm saying, Panther Boy 843. The versatility, sure, but um the measurables, I don't like that. Let's see if we can make this trade manifest. So maybe something more like that. There's no way that are they really? I mean, based off a trade chart, are you really telling me this would be a trade? So let's just force the trade. Let's just force the trade. All right, force trade. Let's just say this is actually something that happens. Okay, start the draft. Okay, now we're looking at this. Look how many picks you got. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 picks. Yeah, I mean it'd still be a late one, but then we would also still have our first round pick. That's what I'm getting at now. So you would have 2 first round picks. Depends on how our year goes, right? But look at this. You could honestly trade back up into the second round. And this is where, like, I mean, and this is where this comes into play. I mean, then you're looking at defense and edge rusher here, and possibly probably linebacker, maybe a safety. I mean, if you're looking all defense, this is what you're looking at the 21st pick. Still be yes. Again, it'd still be a late pick from the future pick would be late from the Pittsburgh Steelers, but at the same time, man. I mean, this is just crazy right here. But again, you got all these picks. That's crazy. That's just insane to me. Because then now look at let's say it is 2026, ladies and gentlemen. Let's say it is 2026. That means you would have 2 first round picks and you would have 2 third round picks, a fourth, a fifth, and a sixth. I mean, and you just stockpiled on draft picks in this draft. And then let's say if we went after draft picks that we visited with, that it'd be like Walter Nolan. Let's see. We'll probably not take him here. I'm just doing a fun one real quick. Well, they did meet with Demetrius Knight, so probably somebody like Demetrius Knight. Jordan Burch, that's funny. So you get him. Go Kyle Williams. Damn, Kyle Williams jumped up on their board. Jesus, none of these guys. It's just a fun one. That's crazy. That's just crazy to think about. That's just crazy if that's something they do. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into some guys that they visited with. Draft visits today. We had a couple. We had a couple of draft visits today, ladies and gentlemen. Some decent guys today, actually. We met with a Canadian quarterback, Garrett Rooker, at his pro day. Tomorrow we are visiting with Jonas Sanker with the with the UVA. The what are they? The Cavaliers. Jalen Lane is in the building. He was there today. Local guy. He's from Clover, South Carolina. So he's visiting with them. So that's a local visit. Todd McShay came out with this. I was listening to that, talking about that. Jordan Burch. All right, is a guy that they visited with today. I I like Jordan Burch. I think he is from Columbia, South Carolina. Played at South Carolina, I think his first year, and then transferred to Oregon. If I'm not mistaken, I remember that correctly. I know he played for South Carolina. I think he transferred after his first year, if I'm not mistaken. Um, trying to see what I have, what I put down for him. I don't have him as high on my board. I mean, we're talking about a guy who's 6'6", 295, runs a 4.68. See if I can pull his big board up. So met with Jordan Burch. Yeah, 6'6", 295. Yep. Ran a 4.68 at I'm pretty sure that's his 40-yard dash as a con. Here's the thing. Jordan Burch is a freak. I'll say that. Almost 300 pounds, right? Runs like a damn linebacker. Um, he has flashes of dominance on his tape that I've seen. The issue for me when I watch him is the fact of the consistency. Like some plays, again, like he looks like he's a Pro Bowl edge rusher. And then other plays, he's like, he disappears, right? The talent's undeniable. But someone needs to light a fire under his ass to make him a true force in the league, to be honest with you. If we go back over here, okay, we visited with Kyle Kennard, one of who I think is one of the most underrated edge rushers in this class, and that's not a biased opinion. I can promise you that it's not. All right. We had again visit with him today. I mean, of course, as a Gamecock fan, I have ranted and raved about this guy. He's moving down on PFF's board, but some boards he's perfect. He's definitely a second round pick in my opinion. Still, like again, you're talking about a guy who's 6'5", 254, ran a 4.740. I just think Kyle Kennard's one of those pass rushers who just has that natural feel, again, to get to the quarterback. He's twitchy as hell, with a quick first step, the kind of hand fighting skills that, again, it gives offensive linemen fits. And he definitely needs to add some functional strength to be more of a situational guy, in my opinion, for sure. But the raw pass rush talent is there and it's legit. It's not just for show, man. It's not. Yeah, Zach, I honestly have a draft board put together. I honestly just need to edit it. I honestly need to edit it, the draft board, my own draft board, and put it where I like it. Ranking wise, I just need to do it. I just need to do it. So I haven't done it yet, but I need to. Definitely need to. So we visited with him today. Let's see who else we visited with today. We also visit. I mean, I actually haven't even done this guy's comp yet. I haven't even like broken this guy down. Tyron Ingram Dawkins, 6'5", 260, 276. I'm gonna have to look into this guy. I'll have to look into this guy tonight. Look into more of him. On the smaller side, but what an athlete. So this is Tyrone Dawkins, one of the guys. So from this relative athletic score, 6'4", weight, okay, 276. Not it's okay. So his comp size, he's okay. But damn, a vertical, elite, broad jump, elite, speed grade, elite, his 20-yard split. So he's a fucking freak, is what he is. He's an athletic freak. is what he is, from my understanding. Who else did we visit with? Carson Schwesinger. I'm a big fan. I like Carson Schwesinger a lot. Let's dive into him real quick. Right here. Let's go find Mr. Schwesinger. Carson Schwesinger. So PFF has him as the 53rd overall best athlete. Or best player, whatever you want to call it. Let me see what I put down for him. 6'2", 225, ran a 4.7 40. He was 225. And then at the combine, he bulked up to 242. So again, I think he's a little bit light for his size, but then 242 was at the combine. So he plays like they're right in PFF. He plays like he weighs 240 when you watch him. I think he is a developmental project. I think with a lot of upside, I'll say that, ladies and gentlemen. I think he plays fast. He has a nose for the ball. But again, at 225, he's on the lighter side. So I want to see him play like he does at 225, but keep that 242 side, right? Like, I think he's likely a core special teams guy early on while bulking up. But if he can add strength without losing that speed, he would be a reliable will linebacker, in my opinion. So that's just my opinion. So, but yeah, that's what I think. That's all the visits we had today. Let me see. Swinson was yesterday. I don't think we had anything else. Yeah, I think that's the only visits today. I know that we have, again, Jonas Sanker tomorrow. And I don't know who else tomorrow. I don't know if we're visiting anybody else. So we'll see. So again, I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Do me a favor, make sure you smash that like button. Love talking to you guys. Love debating with you guys. Again, at the end of the day, we're just talking ball here. All right. You guys have your opinion. Trap has his opinion. He loves Tyler Warren. I think it's Big Dude or Big Guy or whatever. I think his name is Big Dude, if I'm not mistaken. In the comments, Big Dude. He's a JPJ fan. He wants JPJ. So, everybody has their guy, right? Everybody has their guy. Everybody has their opinion. I get it. You like who you like, and as you should. And it's all good at the end of the day. I'm not saying I'm opposed to Tyler Warren. I'm not saying I'm opposed to JPJ. I just don't see it happening. I don't see JPJ getting picked, and I don't see Tyler Warren getting picked. I think it's a very slim chance on both of those guys. I think Tyler Warren has at a 3%. I would say JPJ has like a 2.7% or something like that. All right. So again, I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Do me a favor, make sure you smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Make sure you click that post notifications bell so you don't miss out on new content. Shout out to BetUS, sponsorship of this live stream. Sign up for free today. Get 125% bonus up on your first bet, up to $2,000. Actually, it's up to your first 3 bets, but up to $2,000. Okay. Also, follow me on all my social media: Facebook, Instagram, X. Also, you can follow me on Twitch. I am live on Twitch now. I don't really have a lot of Twitch followers, so if you guys want to go over there and just drop a follow, that'd be great. If you have Twitch, if you have X, come follow me over there. If you have Instagram, come follow me over there. Facebook, would love to start going live over there. If I can get over 100 followers over there, that'd be great. TikTok, we're trying to get 10,000. All right, over there on TikTok. So if you guys would go over there, drop a follow as well, that would greatly appreciate it. Feel free to join the Discord. Discord is for free. I can also put that in the chat. Discord is a place where, I post stuff and then you can communicate with me and everybody else that's part of this family and this community that we have grown over here at the Rockstar Report. So feel free to join that as well. I'm going to put that in the chat right now. So you guys, appreciate you guys tonight. Love it. I love when y'all bring in the comments. Love to hear, again, I love to hear y'all's thoughts, whether I agree with it or not. At the end of the day, it's just, we're all just talking ball here. So, and we're getting closer and closer each and every week to this draft. And honestly, I'm just ready for this draft to come on, man. I feel like the draft is dragging because I'm getting to the point where I'm just tired about talking to the draft, about the draft. And I'm just ready for it to happen. I'm ready for it to happen. So appreciate everyone joining the live stream again. As always, guys, be safe, have fun, of course. And as always, guys, I'm out of here. See you guys tomorrow, same time, same place, and keep pounding. Peace.